a fool to go back to my ex-boyfriend. I'll be a fool to go back to my ex-boyfriend. I'll be a fool to go back to my ex-boyfriend. I'll be a fool to go back to my ex-boyfriend.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Breakfast and Tea with your one and only host, T.E.A. If you don't know, get to know. So of course, if you guys are new and are not familiar to this channel, we are giving you trending topics, entertainment, and of course, advice. So as you know, every fortnight, I'm joined by a new host. So today is something different. I'm giving you two new co-host, okay? So of course, I had to bring that one and only best DJ in town. If you don't know, you need to get to know. He's bringing the beats from all across Africa.
From Madagascar too.
From Madagascar too. I like to move it, and he's
Damn.
and yeah. If you don't know, get to know. It's the one, the only mother flipping DJ Armel inside the building. He didn't bring the energy. Get out.
Yeah.
Get out. Then we, of course, have the lady with the money. She's so funny. And her name is Mother Flippin' Honey. Am I a rapper?
No.
You should become one.
I know I should.
Nah.
I should. And
He's
then
not giving. That ain't the one.
that's an ick. It's an ick when a man says it's not given.
Why?
Because why are you trying to be sassy for it?
Wow. I can do what I want, bro. It's 2023.
It's true.
And you can't judge me unless you want me to cancel this whole show. Like,
As if he has the power to do that.
TikTok, do your thing.
I'm playing. I love people. I love y'all. Okay, as you guys know, every episode we are drinking tea because we are dishing out the tea. And so today's proud sponsor is
Oh my God.
Arizona. Guys, Arizona sponsor us. Iced tea. We are drinking peach flavor. Guys, let's sip the tea because we need a, cheers.
Bottoms up to the bottom.
That was too good. ASMR.
He's giving.
If you get the from David, comment down below. Okay, guys, so let's get straight into it. So, trending topic of the week, right? So, a lot of things have been happening on social media, and I've been seeing, of course, this is Black History Month. So, I wanted to do a topic that was relative to the month of February. So, obviously, before we start, I want to pay my respects to the custodians of the land. So there's something that happened, I don't know if you guys heard about it, where this black boy was brutalized and killed by the police officers, 5 black police officers. And the police officers were actually charged on the 27th of January for the murder of this boy. So imagine his own people killed him. So I think what happened was they arrested him, they pulled him over, they arrested him, he ran, and then they mercilessly beat him up. And he,
Black?
yeah, black, 5 black. So it kind of puts in question that would you then separate like the people in blue from like the black people? Like you have to be scared of the police because even if they're one of your own, there's still a possibility of police brutality, and it almost makes me feel like you're actually not safe. You can't be driving at night and then get pulled over and you see your own fellow black person. You're like, oh, damn.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. And it's not, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, but that's just America. But recently there was a video leakage or a recording leaked by by someone, or I think it was on the news, and it was about the police officers in Brisbane who were actually talking, making racial slurs and racial remarks about Sudanese people and how they want to kill them and they want to torture them. It's just really sad to see that this is the kind of world we live in. And I almost think that having being a police almost gives you this sense of power that and a lot of people anybody that gets power tends to misuse their power, which is really sad that it can actually be your own people?
I don't think it's not. I don't feel like it's almost gives you a sense of power. I think it does give you a sense of power. But I haven't faced many situations where I've been pulled over by cops. But I have faced somewhere. The times I have been pulled over, there was one time, for example, this was a white cop. It was RBT. So I got pulled over for RBT. I was driving my mum's car. So that it's a Jeep, right? So it's nice.
Looking Jeep.
What?
Nice looking Jeep.
Yeah, it's a nice looking Jeep.
Oh my gosh.
So I got pulled over for an RBT, and you guys know it's a quick process usually, right? So then I didn't have at the time I was on my P's, and I didn't have my P plates up.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I'm finished. I'm getting a fine for that surely. So he pulled me over, and then he was just he went all the way to the left, and he started asking whose car is this? I gave him the answer and stuff. Because when he pulled me over, you put down your window and everything. He didn't even come talk to me. He went to the back of the car, iPad or whatever they had, license plate checks and all that.
Yeah.
Came back, whose car is this and all that. That was before I gave him my license. So then I gave him the license, and he was just asking me a whole bunch of questions, about the car and how this and that. But then he didn't actually check that, the car, I didn't even have my P plates up, which was what he should have checked if he looked properly at my license. He done his actual job, instead of being too focused on why is a black person driving this car.
Yeah.
He could have, had me the way he wanted to. He could have had a fine there. Oh, mate, you don't have your P's up. That's a fine. But he was too, what's the word? Indulged.
Yeah.
Indulged.
He's too busy focused on the wrong thing.
But that obviously that's there was a racial drive there.
Yeah.
From old mate.
I had a friend, and she came from Nigeria. And I don't know, but she felt like the police was the coolest thing ever.
The what?
She thought the police was cool. I kid you not, we went to Gold Coast. She saw the police, and she's like, "Can we take photos with them?" I said, "Excuse me, do you know what country we live in? We're living in the Australia."
How's police in Nigeria?
Those. Hey.
Is it like what Africa is as a whole? Because in my country, it's
corrupted.
Yeah, they you pay them for.
Is the police anywhere your friend?
That's what I'm confused, because the fact that you're coming from Nigeria and then you're thinking the police is my friend.
But no, I think that's what we see on TV though. Back in Africa is
the white savior.
Yeah, the police is cool, sort of a superhero sort of thing. Yeah, I'm saying from
I don't know what TV shows.
No, I'm saying when you come from Africa, right, and the police is how it is, right, and you come here, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
When you first look at it, right, without going into, I saw this article where they beat up this kid or done this and that. If you just see the police and you just got off the plane from Africa, they look harmless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Are you sure? They can harm. I remember I was driving from the city back home with my friends, and I was on my P's. So the police stopped me, and I was so scared. I don't know. I was fearful for my life. And they were but they were very aggressive. They could tell I was young, but they were so aggressive. They're asking me questions. They asked to see everyone else's ID. Is that a thing? They asked to see everyone's ID in the car. Yeah. And I was just they're my cousins. Because I think I only supposed to have one person. So I said, they're my cousins. But they asked to see everyone's ID. They were checking everything. They were asking questions, things that they shouldn't really be asking. And I don't even think it was a minor thing that, I didn't do anything for them to alert the police. But they were just so on me. And it made me so scared, fearful. They were even go and get your license. But I was scared to get my license. It was just, it's a fact that, do you ever feel I'm in danger, but will I even call the police? Because sometimes I see, the funny thing is, when you leave the club even, you see the police is already, they don't stand outside the white clubs. They stand outside the black, when they know there's a black event, they will be, they're like this. waiting for the black people to mess up. They're like, mess up now. I just want to arrest one of you. Do you get what I mean? And it's a really, really sad fact that that's something that, you know, we have to face. But at the same time, that's why I always plead with my black brothers and sisters not to play into the stereotype of what they want you to do. Like, you know.
Yeah, but with that, like them standing outside the club and everything, who's to blame? You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you know, like I come out of the club and they're standing there. It is weird. Like, it feels,
yeah.
You know, and like you said, they don't do that to the white clubs. But I feel like in terms of violence and, you know, the things that happen in the valley, unfortunately, it's like usually, you know, black, islander people, things like that. Unfortunately, right? But that's just because white boy's name Ethan is not going to do anything. You know?
Yeah.
Ethan is not going to do anything.
Yeah, like, you know, like,
yeah,
that's the worst I was called is CUNT.
Yes. So,
but
I feel like our people, but as a man, like, guys are driven by, they think it's cool, like,
yeah.
to, you know, fight in front of girls.
I'm going to be controversial for a second. I'm going to be, don't get me cancelled. But the police, when they were doing the police footage that got released, they actually spoke about a particular country. And it was
police?
The Brisbane police, actually.
Okay, yeah, that thing, yeah.
They spoke about Sudanese people. So it's interesting to see how they segregate. Jesus.
Hey!
Grandma is fighting. They segregate.
Whoa.
No, I think it's segregate. Can I not say that word?
Use another word.
Segregate. They segregate. God.
Move on.
And then,
you know what you want.
Sudanese people from other cultures.
Yes.
Like, they can tell when you're Sudanese and when you're not. And there's a difference that they will treat you based on that. So even what, like, black people, it's in our own, like, community too. The way we, you know, see, Sudanese people are more violent. Let me use quotation mark before you guys say I said it. They're more violent, or they're more, you know, they're more troublesome, or they're more have problems with the law the most. And so, like, it's almost like the police that's their main target. Even if you see the way they're portrayed on TV, like, if someone gets killed, it was like Sudanese gangs. If someone gets the house robbed, Sudanese gangs. It's always like, this is how they're brought in their light. It's like that. But and the thing is, they don't really portray other African countries like that. In that sort of, like, it's more so the Sudanese community. So I do feel bad because they're kind of taking the blunt for everything, even though sometimes it's not even their fault. Yeah. Yeah,
no, for sure. I've seen the whole Sudanese gang thing. It could just be, you know, some 5 boys were out in the city being silly, right? They'll label that as a gang.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I definitely think. But I think actually in Australia, I don't know this for a fact, but it seems like they're the most, what's the word, populous here? Like, in terms of Africans in Australia.
They're the high percentage of Sudanese people in the African community than any other country. Yeah,
with that comes a lot of attention, obviously. Like, you know, they're number one, and then that's followed by probably, like, I don't know, Nigerians, maybe Ethiopians, Somalians.
No. Nigerians we're not many here. I would say it would be Sudanese, then maybe like Somalis, Ethiopians,
Congolese,
Zimbabweans,
Kenyans.
But yeah,
no, not even Kenyans.
Really?
Zimbabweans.
Yeah, I think Sudanese people are everywhere. So you know, when they make a mistake, or you know, when they make a mistake, it's put on everyone. It's put on the whole, pretty much Africa.
Yeah.
You know? One person does something, but that's it's obviously unfair because. Again, white boy Ethan could do something, and they don't go, Australians are this.
Yeah.
But as soon as controversial, Dang does something. I have friends named Dang, so relax. I played around. But anyways, as soon as, you know, my Sudanese friend does something, he gets in a fight or whatever, it's all of us. Like, Sudanese get it the most, but it's everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone gets it.
It's just scary to see, like, you might be in the store, police might follow you. You might be in your car, they'll follow you just because you're black. And it's weird what is crazy is I feel like it's so weird how we normalize that as like, oh, this is normal. But it's actually not normal for this to be happening, because some people wake up and they're not scared to like go certain places because the police is trying to catch them or something, or like suspect something's going on.
Yeah, you definitely got to carry yourself like differently being black.
Even when you call the police, like, about, like, maybe a situation is a fight. I've seen so many situations where the police take their time to come to the place, or they see a group of black people fight and they're just, like, looking at them. And
Say, what, mate? You're an Inala? All right.
I'm
out of fuel.
Yeah, I'm not just stop at serve. I'll be there in a second. Like,
they take their time.
They take their time because, and, you know, as I said, as a black person in diaspora, you are a second-class citizen. So you're not their number one priority, and you're not the number one person that they're probably going to save. Yeah. So it's actually sad that you have to be scared of the police and also be, you know, scared for your own safety.
Yeah. It's crazy because some people I know, like, are going to see what you just said and be like, nah, it's not that deep, like, because they just don't know.
Yeah.
You know? Even black people, like, some black people just didn't, like, they haven't had to face things like that before, which is good. But like this conversation that we're having right now, I feel like some people just won't relate, or they think we're being too harsh, you know. But like this is really life, like for a lot of black people, everywhere, all over the world. Yeah,
I just feel like it's important to talk about these topics because I think people need to be able to, like, for people who are not African, it's good to hear how we feel. And it's good to talk about it, and this should be conversations you have amongst your friends and stuff, you know. So yes, on to that. Thank you for that. That was our trending topic of the week. So we're moving on to entertainment. Entertainment's more, you know. Let's get into it. So obviously we have our two favorite duos, our toxic couples of the year. Who's our toxic couples of the year? Do you know? Yes, Krishan and Mother Flippin' Blueface. Apparently they're not together anymore.
I don't care about them like that.
But I do.
Okay, go on.
I feel like they're the perfect example of, they're just the toxic couple of our generation.
Like,
I do.
Something like, I don't
You
know.
know how our parents' generation was Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston? I feel like they're Krishan, and the
That's
way
crazy.
the internet is so invested in their relationship, they're so toxic that they're giving Krishan, Bobby Brown and Whitney. They're like madly in love, but they're so bad for each other.
How do you say her name?
Krishan.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is she famous for other than being with Blueface?
Apparently,
Beating up people. I'm scared. Don't cover me.
She's a boxer.
She sings.
She swing their hands.
She sings.
She sings.
One would be
Does she sing well enough or sells enough records to be verified on Instagram? Or is it just
she sang that song.
Blueface?
It's a vibe all the time.
Just know, like when she sings with, like, the side eye, like she sings.
Okay, so she's popular. She's
like pop culture.
Okay, cool.
So she's also in the show called Baddies of the South, which is about girls that fight. It's like a spin-off of Bad Girls Club. So yeah, she literally is famous for fighting. She announced that she was actually pregnant.
She's fighting that.
She's pregnant. So apparently she's pregnant, and it's not Blueface's. And Blueface tweeted and was like, "It's not Blueface, baby." Okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah.
Oh,
but
damn.
Like that couple, God have mercy on our souls. You know, there's like couples like that in real life. I know so many couples. I was talking about this on the last episode. There's so many couples that have that bondage to each other that is demonic.
Yeah, I feel like that's in a lot of African parents' relationship.
Yeah.
Make sure you specify the country because they're gonna come for you.
Nigerians.
They say, I know, but in South Africa, we don't do that down here.
Yoruba people.
Speak on it because this is it needs to be spoken. Yeah, it needs to be spoken.
Let me educate y'all. So boom. Parents of African descent. Black people, like, I feel like it's also a religious thing. Like, we're so proud and we're so deep into our religion that, like our parents, this is what I'm talking about, but they feel like, as a Christian, like divorce and everything. And also they worry too much about the community. Oh, embarrassment.
Yeah.
What is my friend going to think? You know? It's like, bro, I know divorce, like, I don't agree with divorce like that because, I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
But there's circumstances where you're like, ugh, like, you got to get out of that,
Yeah.
Because African uncles and husbands or whatever, they will cheat 36 times, bro.
And they'll still...
They'll cheat 36 times.
And the moms will be like, I'm still beside him. That's my man.
And then they're mad mad at their wives for being mad at them cheating. Like,
Nigerian men are the worst at that. I'm so sorry. If you guys come for me because your dads be doing that.
Nigerians are full of futures.
Yes, Nigerian men are the worst. Have you not seen that meme where it's like the girl catches the guy in the bed and then she's like, mess up.
Yeah.
Mess up. Which one of you left the door unlocked? That's how they are. Like, African men will gaslight you, and you would thinking, especially Nigerian men, they'll say, so you saw me cheating. Why did you now go investigate and find out I was cheating? Who told you to go investigate? I cheated, yes. Do you want to cry? Do you want to cry? Like, that's how they are.
I feel like in our generation, they're like better people than our parents. Like, basically, our parents. You would catch your husband cheating. You go through his phone and all that. He's cheating.
And she just say,
no, wait. And then like,
so
you're like,
what?
You're
I'm
like,
still a rock star.
Why you in a relationship? And guess what they say? Oh, I'm doing it for my children.
Yeah.
But then I don't blame them because at the end of the day, the men, they would not allow their wives to work because like if such situation comes up, they want to be able to control the woman. Like, you can't leave.
Yes,
because,
financial control. And all those girls are saying, I will be a housewife.
God,
I want me a Nigerian woman. When they show you the pep, when they show you shake it,
I want to marry a rich Nigerian man.
they will show you shake
pep.
it.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. Don't worry. When they say...
You'll cry with $1 million naira.
No,
How much is that?
The pain, Nigerian men,
I'll cry
when
for
they
10
know
million,
that,
man.
when they
It's
know
fine.
that you're, what's it called? They're paying for your thing. They will bring a girl into your house and they will disrespect you, because they're saying, "Excuse me, shut your mouth because I'm paying for the bills."
Yeah, for 10 billion.
And you will shut their mouths.
Yeah,
You will shut.
and the funny thing is that the mothers like they wouldn't cheat, but then the fact that they're still in the relationship with the man. The men, they'll start to feel like, oh, like, why is she not doing... Like, if you do any, like, the smallest thing, they'll feel you're cheating. Like, I think it's just guilty conscience because they're doing it. So, like, they expect you to be doing it, but then
It's
you're not
double
doing
standards.
It's like...
It's double standards. The ones that, even like Nigerian, like, the ones that beat their wives. Because to be honest, if we're honest, a lot of our parents married for convenience. It didn't marry because they actually were in love. They met this guy, he was cool, his family was... had money. He was forming for you 1 second. You married him after a month of knowing him. Now he's showing you paper. Now you're knowing he's stingy. Now you're knowing he's a cheater. Okay. Like, obviously there's not all of them. Some of them had like some. But the ones that are going free, like some of them, their man is beating them like punching bag. It's giving them pa pa pa, and they're saying, "My sister, he will change."
Not the one.
He will change now.
So I got a question. 100K a week, you wouldn't accept that?
100K, like dollars.
Yeah, dollars.
And he's cheating on
US dollar.
And he's cheating on you.
He's cheating. We're finished. Conversation over, yeah? So now we understand why women get into these situations, especially with rich men.
To be honest, yeah.
Bro, my girl can beat me up for 150, bro. A week.
To be frank.
Balenciaga.
No, okay. Look,
Fresh.
cheating and
With a
beating
black
up.
eye.
I will not be catching black eye because you're for money. Please.
Black eye, but you got Lamborghini.
No, let me tell you. The
Rolls-Royce,
day
helicopter.
the day he beats me into death, the day I don't wake up, how will I chop that 100K now?
Naya.
In heaven.
100K. Bah.
And he's beating
Weekly.
me.
Nah,
I'm so sorry.
You got a chef.
No.
A mansion.
Will I have a chef
Helicopter.
in heaven? No. God will even ask me, are you okay? I sent you there, you're getting beaten for 100K. Now you're here.
So there's no amount.
No amount, you're going to beat me.
1 million a week, you're saying?
Nope.
Bro,
You want to kill me? Never.
Hey, man. Money buys happiness, bro. You
You
beat me tomorrow. Beat me yesterday. The next day, give me $1 million, I'm happy again.
Okay, if you like to beat people, make sure you beat David well.
Yeah, man. Hey, at least, as long as you give me money,
Okay.
a good amount.
Nah, that one can't. Like, if you're, and like the whole thing with the divorce thing, like African parents just feel like they should not be getting divorced. Like,
It's a taboo.
Because
It's like, my mother did not divorce, so why should I divorce?
Yeah.
Even though the relationship is so toxic that they're actually, what's it called? There's a word for it. It's so toxic that they're, what's it called? They're projecting it. They're projecting it onto their children. You don't realize that kids pick up on toxic behaviors. If they're seeing their mom getting beaten by like a punching bag, when they get into their relationship with their boyfriend, they will now be like, "Oh, beats me. My mommy got beaten. Oh, beats me." And or the sons might be like, or the girl might be like, "Oh, babes, I don't want to do that." you open your mouth. My dad will beat you. I'll beat you as well.
Yeah.
Like, it actually like drills like into them, like projects onto them. They don't know what black love is or what a respectable relationship should look like because of that whole issue.
Now, I would say like people who have parents that like maybe their love is like toxic. They grew up to be different. I don't know how to put it. But like they're already exposed. Like, oh, like my mom has gone through this shit. I'm not going through it. Like I've listened to this like morning, afternoon, night at home. Like, I don't want mine to be like, and they're like, they're always like, oh, I don't even want to get married. Like, I don't want to be in a relationship and all that. So, like, rather than they get, I don't know how to put it, but like, I hope you understand what I'm saying. But basically, they try to stay away from relationships.
Altogether.
Altogether. Like, and they just see love and relationship and marriages. No go for me.
I honestly, if I'm speaking for myself, my mom, she was not necessarily like, she's dealt with a lot of like stingy, well, my stepdad was very stingy. If you hear this podcast, you are.
So, hey, I'm going to drop his Facebook thing down below.
I just want to say that because of that, I'm scared of dating a broke man. Because I could never be funding you. Like, are you dumb? Because let me tell you people something. If you like, date for poverty. But me, I will not date for poverty. Do you know why? Because those poor men that you help build up, they will step on your neck.
I'm not doing for better.
They
will
step on your neck and they will still treat you like shit.
All right.
They will still treat you like. So what I'm telling you, I'd rather be cashing out with my man than
get beaten up.
No, I'm not getting beaten up. Respect yourself.
Okay.
But I definitely feel like the thing I love about our generation is that we definitely need to be more wise when it comes to stepping into marriage and relationships, making sure that you actually talk to your partners and about like how their parents' relationship was, because you don't really know, like a lot of people don't realize how their parents' relationship actually affected them, and certain attributes, certain like behaviors they've actually picked up. And so like the only way to fix an issue or fix a generational curse is by identifying the issue and working on it. So making sure to do that. Also making sure to ask your partner if they have any mental health in their family, because that's really important. Making sure they have what blood group they're in.
Absolutely.
So that your child does not come out sickle cell. Because that's something big in
I
our
have faith in
society.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, I am a big believer of Jesus. I love God. I'm a Christian myself. But I'm saying, like, use wisdom. Use wisdom. Just because the girl is fine, she's everything, this is conversations you need to have, because later in life, when your relationship you're looking at marriage, that's when this is going to be a big problem for you.
All right, but so at what stage are you going to ask someone what's your blood type? Is it disability?
When I realized, like, okay, cool.
Talking stage.
Yeah.
Talking stage.
Like just like a joke, like, oh, what's like?
No.
I'm not joking. I'm for real. Like,
talking about that stuff as a joke. It's crazy.
It's just like
talking stage. You should be asking like.
So what's your blood type? Let's go get a STI check.
Dude, that'll be crazy.
No.
Like, if like people in your family were like disabled, like.
Yeah. Let's see who in your family has alcoholism. Alcoholism
do you want to play a
problem.
game? Do you want to play a game?
Play a little game. Just
No, that's crazy.
I feel like I'm come up like at a talking stage, not the STI test and all, just like
It should.
just something as simple as
STI
at
should.
the talking stage.
Yes.
STI is the
Talking
talking
stage.
stage.
No. Before you get into like sexually intimate with someone,
Yeah, you should
STI.
ask for the like police.
I don't know
that's
how you
fine, but
be
said
doing it.
talking stage. That's crazy. I just met you last week talking about do you have a chlamydia? Come on.
No,
man.
I would literally be like that.
No, you won't, bro.
No. I mean,
That's
like,
why you're
What?
he said that's why I'm
sponsored by
I'm
Breakfast
single.
and T.E.A.
No, but I would literally be like, cool. Like if I get in a relationship or with you, it's serious.
Yeah.
I'm planning to marry you, so you're gonna tell me what your blood type is. So if you're AS, if you're carrying
course.
sickle cell carrier, if you have mental health issues in your family, if you have alcoholism problems in your family, if your dad beats your mom, if like I need to know all these things because I need to see what is the trauma that I'm have to deal with because I don't want you projected onto me.
So it's not a deal breaker.
What?
Like he'll be like, oh, I have my great granddad was this. Like
Was an alcoholic?
alcoholic. This, and then my grandma was disabled like this or whatever. So what are you gonna do about that?
It's just good to know because your like if I get pregnant, like I need to know like okay, this is a possibility. It's not a deal breaker for me necessarily.
If, like, the disability is like something that can be carried on, then
It's a deal breaker for you.
It's a deal breaker.
But love
like,
is love,
nah.
no? I feel like it's
I
easier
don't
said
think
than
she
done.
come-
Like we're saying this because we're not in that situation.
Yeah, I feel so too.
That's
Like,
true.
it should come up
Because
in
you're
time.
gonna love white boy Ethan, and then he's gonna come like, yo,
What's the
like
deal with Ethan?
I'm scared of white men because I feel like secretly they could literally be like you with guys. You don't show your anger, like they don't show the angry straight up.
who?
Like Oyibo men,
Huh?
Oyibo men,
Who?
Murungu men,
What's that?
Muzungu, Kawajats.
Yeah.
They don't show that they're angry.
Uh-huh.
Like theirs is meditated. They will just one day shop you up, enter bag, and they throw you away. Pull a Jeffrey Dahmer on you,
Dang.
and you won't even know. So that's my thing. But all in all, these are the important things you have to ask in like your marriages and in your relationships before you get married. And these are all things that you have to know. Like, stay away from toxic relationships because all of this, like Blueface and Krishan, they're just a production of their environment. Two toxic people that came together.
Also, all
could have
that
been
limelight,
avoided.
like all
Limelight.
of that can't be real.
Yeah,
It was
definitely
just,
for the TV.
yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to our last segment, advice. I think I have a serious issue. My body count is like 30 now, and I've just turned 19. A couple of weeks ago, I've been cheating on older women who are like 40 plus since I was 14.
Wait.
Can you come back?
Run it back, turbo.
So I think I have a serious issue. My body count is like 30 now, and I've just turned 19 a couple of weeks ago. I've been cheating older women, sleeping with older women who are like 40 plus.
That's a boy?
Yeah, since I was 14.
Oh, good.
But I only just realized how effed it is. Am I a victim or is this my fault?
You're definitely a victim. Like he was a minor.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's absolutely not your fault.
Mm.
That's crazy.
As a man.
As a man, if I saw him, I'd say, nah. Okay, but real talk, as a man, at 14, like, especially around that age, that's when you start thinking about that stuff. So, I don't think, because at 14, I was aware, right? And if I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying, these men out there at 14, you'd be like, yes, I want to do that. And that's,
I believe
I don't think it's a
that
victim.
oh, you don't think it's a victim? I think you're a victim, babe. And the reason why I think so many men are a victim, that's why they're hypersexual. That they're always wanting to have sex, and they've misconstrued the idea of sex because of the power imbalance. A 40-year-old woman shouldn't be having sex with a 14-year-old because you don't know anything.
Oh,
If we did roles reversed, a 14-year-old girl with a 40-year-old man, that's rape.
Yeah.
So a 14-year-old man, a boy with a 40-year-old woman, that's also rape. Because that's a power imbalance. She has had sex before. She knows what she's doing. You are new. You don't know anything. Even if you're sexual and you're sexually thinking about those things, 14 girls are thinking about that thing. We're thinking about that thing, but boys should not be doing that at that age with 40-year-olds. Okay. And that shows he's mentally been effed up because he's misconstrued what sex is, and that's why he's having sex with he can only have sex with 40-year-old women because that's the only thing he's ever known about sex. That's why some people, they have to have that power imbalance. Like, if you look at people who are like R. Kelly, who like younger children, it's because they were once taken advantage of. A lot of serial killers, they were once taken advantage of. That's why they've misconstrued the idea of sex, that they like to have that power because the power was taken from them at such a young age. They now want to have that power against someone who's more vulnerable. So that actually messes you up. So the fact that you're having sex with 40-year-old women, that's a problem. And I feel like a lot of people don't take that, like, that's not talked about enough in the black community, because a lot of the guys think it's actually a goal to sleep with older women, and but it's not a goal. You're actually mentally not okay, and you need to seek help, and you can actually report things like that. And a lot of this happens when, like, say your mom brings an auntie into the house to stay. Especially happens a lot, especially when you live in diaspora. An auntie from Nigeria, auntie from this place comes and takes advantage of you, and you don't know what's going on. And even if you report it, no one's going to look at the auntie like, oh my gosh, she's nasty. They're going to be like, especially, why are you telling me?
You're going to be like, at your age, why are you doing that? Like,
but as a guy, like, things like that is like, oh, that's cool, bro.
Yeah.
Like 14-year-old, what? You done this and that? Wow. So, but that's just how we're wired, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, society's just built it to that. That's why I say, like, as a guy, it's a bit more, unfortunately, accepted. Like, in society, that's, like, you would put 50 men in a room and give them that scenario. Just like I said myself, like, some men would be like, that's all right. And then some others will be on your side and be like, okay, that's actually messed up, which it is, obviously, when you think about it that way. But then, like, everyday life as a man, we're like, oh, yeah, bro, that's cool. If you're just telling your group of mates that, they'll be like,
good on you.
You're the man. Yeah.
But you actually might be messed up. And some guys are scared to talk about it. Some guys they don't even know how to interact with girls or actually have, they don't, like, even it happens to females. They don't enjoy sex because they always attach sex to that time of them being taken advantage of, that, like, that's why some guys it's just all that. It's just clapping cheeks. That's all they see.
No love. Like,
they don't understand, like, sex is about making love and the passion. They don't have that passion because it's been taken away. Their mind has been changed about how sex should be. And I feel like a lot of people, you need to, like, seek guidance. Sometimes African parents might not understand, or even if you're an African, like, your parents might not understand. Ethnic parents, they don't understand. So if you need to, and you don't feel comfortable to talk to anyone around you, I feel like it's best to seek a counsellor or go on, like, this the helplines, because if you don't, it will mess you up forever, and it will change your sexual experiences. And I feel like parents need to be more careful of who they let in their house, because that can actually affect their child. Don't let any auntie and any uncle in the house, as much as you might trust them, because those are the same aunties that will still take advantage of your child.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole, I know with African parents, I don't know about other countries, but I know, like, Nigerians, they bring a lot of, like, house helps.
Yeah.
To, like, they bring a lot of house helps to raise the children.
Yeah.
And then, like, most of the time, like, the dads, they're like, oh, I don't want a male house help, I want a female. And they're like, because of that, they find out that they don't even know, but the children are getting abused.
Molested,
like, helps, male or female, honestly.
Yeah.
But then, like, 2 days, they probably still would not know, and then the child is just carrying it on.
Yeah.
It's crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it's not a meme, but just something on social media, and it was like, I I won't be leading around people that say things like, here's a chocolate, don't tell mummy. Like, a friend comes around and they're teaching your child, like, oh, don't tell mum, don't tell dad.
Yeah.
Like, things like that, in the child's mind, that could wire them to then, first it starts off with chocolates. Yeah, don't tell mummy. And then a couple of weeks down the line, it's,
absolutely.
They're getting molested.
So
and
I feel like a lot of parents should pay attention to their children, because why are you leaving a child that's like just 2 at home with like a help? It never sits right with me, because what are you doing that you like? Honestly speaking, well, my parents, like, since I was born till when I actually left Nigeria, we've had like someone at home, like throughout, if not 1, 2 at a time, if not 2, 3 at a time. It just goes in, and I'm like, I can never like have a help, because why can't you just be with your own child and just like raise them? Why are you so busy? Like,
even Davido and Chomer, how they had to help.
Exactly that.
Nah, you can't even.
You can't even trust these people no more these days.
Yeah, that's why I said in everything you need to be like eyes open, because people are wicked. The world is a wicked place. They will take advantage of your child. Gate mans take advantage of young girls. Your uncles, those uncles that you say, oh, he's like a brother to me. They'll take advantage. They doesn't say
it's like a brother. Sit on my leg. Come and sit on my leg.
Or
you've grown up.
If you grow, let me touch
come
here.
Sit on my leg.
Oh, you've grown. I see that. Like,
it's crazy. Honestly, these things.
It's disgusting.
No, but to answer your question, like life happens in terms of parents taking care of kids. Like these work,
But it's work. Is work worth your child's life?
No, but like I'm talking about them being busy all the time. Like Davido, come on, he's traveling all the time. His kid is not going to come with him all over the world, right? And then the mum is back home. I don't know what she does for work, but let's say she,
kind of like a chef kind of thing.
right, and then she's got work while Davido is in America. You can't, sometimes it's hard to.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, so
It's inevitable, but then like at the end of the day, let's say little things like checking up on your child, like, oh, how you doing? Do you have anything to do you have anything to tell me?
Teaching them about
like,
safe spaces.
And they're like,
safe touches.
I feel like parents just think that, oh, I shouldn't talk to my child about these sexual things, because till date my mother has not sat me down to talk about when you want to have sex, this that. She just is that I got a message today from afar. Don't get pregnant too. That's just it. That's just it. She's now I'm not dissing my mom out here though. Like, I'm just saying, like, parents actually they do this a lot. They wouldn't sit you down to like talk to you about these things, about safe practice. What's that thing that
safe
was
sex?
Like, I learned it from school and my friends, to be honest.
Yeah,
not from
me
my
too.
parents.
The thing is, if you as a parent don't teach a child, the internet will teach them. And a lot of parents are victims, but they refuse to teach their children because it's happened to me and it happens to everybody. Like, I've heard parents say like, are you the first person that they're doing? They've done so many people and we're just living.
You're doing my own time. It's not about your time. It's about what's happening
now. It's the change that you can make.
Yeah. I feel like that's just with them being old school.
Yeah.
Like them being old school.
It's a taboo to talk about that.
And things like that.
Yeah.
Is what gets in the way of like them, like I feel like we've learned a lot from the Western world. In Africa you're not getting taught that stuff in primary.
Yeah, that's
school,
true.
right?
Yeah.
That's true.
So in African like culture, parents don't
Talk about
about sex and stuff.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you don't talk about it, history repeats itself.
Yeah, but
they're passing on the trauma basically.
That's just how Africa is built, I guess. Like, I'm sure some parents in Africa, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about all, but I've never had a sex conversation with my parents.
Yeah.
I'm almost 30 now. I'm 26. But yeah, like, and I've never had it. So, and for me, like, it was sex ed in New Zealand in school.
Yeah, that's what you.
And for me, that's normal. Like, but because I've learned that now, I know how to handle that with my kids. Yeah. Because I've learned that. And I think that's our generation has a lot to offer because we're mixed, I guess. Like, especially those of us that were born in Africa and had that like African foundation, coming over here and learning
Different.
and like another, I guess, culture or way to live, and adapting to that and sort of mixing that into the people that we are and our beliefs and everything like that. And that causes a lot of conflict, like with our parents. But like for me, it makes sense. The way our generation is carrying itself. Like, we're very fair. In Africa, you can't say, Mum and Dad, you're wrong. Like, oh, Mum, you're lying.
Yeah.
That's not happening in an African household.
Yeah,
exactly.
you're calling me a liar?
Yeah,
This
you can't have these conversations. You can't compromise in an African household. It's this is my house. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Or things like, for example, a big thing for me growing up in New Zealand, having an African foundation was, I'm going out to these parties and events and stuff. My white friends and all them, their parents dropping them off. I'm even going to, my white friend's house to pre-drink and things like that. Like, and my parents, they just think I'm at someone's house. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to church tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring that onto my kids. Like, give them that safe space that they can call me.
Yeah.
Say, yo, Dad. I'd rather them call me when, the police come and shut down the party than them running away.
And getting in more trouble. Thank you guys for this topic. So we're just going to wrap this up with Breakfast and Tea, of course. I just want to thank you guys again for coming on the show. We have DJ Armel in the building. Give it up for him. If you don't know, now you know. We have
Run it back.
Honey with the money and the vibes in the building. And of course, you have Naomi, your host with the most. So if you don't know, get to know. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Mo, make sure you guys like and subscribe and comment down below
And share.
what your opinions
Smash that
are.
like button.
And share. Thank you.